Okay, so Combo Breaker 2023. If
Yes.
you had 3 words to describe your experience this year, what would it be, Phil?
Uh, needs another day.
Yes.
That was like there's we all say it's like day zero. Like when you get there on Thursday, it's like day zero. Then there's the 3 days. Like I wish we just had one extra day. Like
Yeah.
and not even to be in the venue, but just to be with the community. Because I feel like the 4 days are not enough, and the last day all of us are just going home. Like I wish that we could have an extra day. Like it makes me like want to like show up like on Wednesday next year and tell everyone to show up on Wednesday so we can just hang out just a little bit more, like get more games in. Because as you know, when you go into any of these majors, you start doing something and then like but like 5 minutes goes by and it was 4 hours. Like it's wild how quick things go. Like I had lunch with someone and like I finished lunch and like 2.5 hours went by and we just got a burger and it was like, what happened? And like I just wish there was more time for us to like get together, have some fun, play games, talk about stuff, network, all of the stuff. But I wish there was another day because Combo Breaker is the absolute best.
Absolutely, and I agree with that sentiment. I think it needs another day. I mean, selfishly as a person would say,
Yes,
right? Because I'm sure Rick is like just losing his like literal hair follicles from the stress, but
he's probably still sleeping from
still recovering.
He woke up, made a tweet, Evo's happening, and then he went back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but my whole thing is I agree. It's really funny if you've never been to a major before. First of all, what are you doing? Go to one. If you can afford it, and obviously if it's safe and available to you. But my biggest thing is you don't realize you're on a schedule, but you're really on a schedule at certain points. I mean, if you sign up for any of the brackets, you have to be at a certain place at a certain time if you want to not get DQ'd, right? So there is a bit of sort of like hustle and bustle along like the venue, as you can see, like people kind of like jogging to their like their next set or something like that. Both of us have actually seen this
happened to myself and experienced someone doing it while I was TOing. And there are people that show up with like they sign up for like 6-7 events, and I think that's insane. You have no time if you sign up for that many. I signed up for 3 and I DQ'd in 2 of them. Right. So like, and I still didn't have time to do stuff because there was just so much happening. Like your whole day like starts off where you have like a plan, and like I said earlier, like you think that you're gonna go to plan, and things just kind of like you talk to someone for 5 minutes and then another 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh god, I got to be to pools and now, and you start jogging over there. It happens every single time. Like I just got to my like Grand Blue pools when the guy was calling out for like roll call, like just like sign in. I just got there.
Nice. Well, at least you got there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, at least you got there. Well, so first time experiencing a major, I want to try and capture the vibe. I want to sort of like walk people through what it's like. And initially I want to say, as soon as you go through that bag check, it is way bigger than you expect. As soon as you enter Combo Breaker specifically, the venue is massive. Okay, the Renaissance Hotel, what they're doing over there is fantastic. They had one big like venue area, and then a whole other ballroom just for like the retro games. And then upstairs you got a whole new arcade, which wasn't there last year, but I'm happy it was this year. Even if some of the buttons weren't working on the machines. As we both have experienced.
Some?
Yeah, most.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. But it really is just a good experience. There's vendors all over the place selling stickers, art, controller parts, controllers themselves, popcorn.
Yep. Good old the Baron popcorn Baron.
Yeah. Listen.
What flavors did you get this year? I don't even remember what flavors you got this year.
So I got steak and onion, garlic bread, which is like okay, it's pretty good. Okay. I rated like a 6 out of 10. Cookie dough, fantastic, 10 out of 10. Love it all the time. And I also got lemon glaze, and the final flavor I got was New York cheesecake, which is one of my new favorites.
Yes. I've actually, I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a trick to getting more popcorn Baron. And I'm not going to say anymore. It's actually against the rules. But I got dill pickle, cinnamon roll. Cinnamon roll is my all-time favorite. It's literally like cinnamon toast crunch popcorn. It's amazing. And I also just wanted something different, so it's got sour cream and onion this year, and it was just like sour cream and onion chips. It was really good. But that line, man, is
I'm not even joking. So for those of you that don't know, Popcorn Baron comes to Combo Breaker and a lot of Chicago FGC events. He's basically a guy that makes like any flavor that you can imagine. He's got popcorn with that flavor. Flamin' Hot Cheetos, apple glaze, teriyaki, Korean barbecue, you name it, he probably has it, right?
Baron's Reserve, his specialty flavor.
I'm not even joking. You will be waiting on this line for almost 2 hours.
Yep. And that's no joke.
And what makes
I was over that.
Yeah, what makes me the most upset is that it's almost always worth it.
The first, okay, so we probably should mention this is their second year together going to Combo Breaker.
Yes.
We went there last year, and we have a buddy, Freddie Pow Pow, and we got in line. It was, let's go get popcorn first, and we're standing in line. Freddie had to go to pools, I believe, and then he came back. I feel now that I think about it, this is the second year he's done this. He leaves and comes back.
Yeah, a little suspicious.
He left us alone, and now I'm thinking about it. He did this again now, but every time you're standing in line, like, what am I doing? Well, what am I doing? Why am I in this line? And it's crazy how long you wait, but like you feel like you're failing yourself if you don't get in that line. It's wild. And also, we're the suckers that actually get in line. Next year, we just got to do what everyone else does and ask someone to get it for us.
Yeah,
that's all. We just got to do that next year.
You need to have a line person that's not afraid to stand for like an hour in a line, just waiting to go. And that was our first stop, I think, right? We went straight to Popcorn Baron as soon as those doors opened, which is like, that's the tech. If you want to know, you hit up Popcorn Baron. Okay, you heard it here first.
I had some, I worked a bunch at Combo Breaker doing a bunch of working stuff this year. So like, I had to do some running around. I actually had to get out of line.
Yeah.
We were already in line and I had to leave and come back. And when I got back, you guys weren't done. It just makes no sense how long that line is.
Just waiting. Love it, love it, love it. And I mean, all the other vendors and stuff like that, the artists and stuff like that, you'll blow a check right away at Combo Breaker with all the different like stickers, arts, prints.
I'm wearing the hat right now, actually.
Yes, and the merch as well. Yeah.
Oh, actually, Combo Breaker cup.
Oh yeah, that mug is so good.
It's every morning.
Took it on a test drive last morning. I was like, yeah, this feels good.
So Lumi, what did you? I know you did. Why don't you say? I know you did Guilty Gear Rev. What else did you sign up for this year at Combo Breaker?
Yeah, so I signed up for 3 games, and I actually ended up going to all 3 games, which I was very surprised of. I signed up for Street Fighter 5, Guilty Gear Rev 2, and Third Strike, which was sort of like a throwaway. I was like, I don't know. I like Third Strike. I'm always like, I really appreciate Third Strike and stuff like that. And I enjoy playing it with friends, but I was like, we'll sign up for it, thinking I was gonna DQ, but I actually ended up doing all right. Going 1 and 2 in a game you don't really play that seriously at all. It's a good time. Okay.
I got to watch you play Rev, and you're so much better than I am, because in all fighting games. But like I watched you play Rev, I'm like, go Lumi, go Lumi. I think you were facing a Biken, if I'm correct.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, that's like one of the highlights for Combo Breaker for me in particular. It's just like rolling up. If you have a group of friends that are really into fighting games, definitely go as a group and root for each other's matches and pools, because it is an absolute sight seeing a guy scream your name like, let's go, whenever you get a knockdown or something like that. It's just so exhilarating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the top 8s happening pretty much non-stop,
yeah,
right? Like the energy in the room, it almost never like dips. It's always at a particular peak when it comes to it. Just comes from different parts of the room. It's like, oh, the Tekken guys are doing an exhibition, yeah, they're going crazy. Oh, now the Street Fighter guys are over here doing their thing, they're going nuts. So there's always some sort of action constantly happening, whether you're interested in the game or not, which it's just like a really fun environment to be a part of when you're a fighting game fan like us.
One of the like my favorite thing about fighting games is like like announce trailers for like any character in fighting games. Like the hype you feel when you're just sitting on your computer or your phone. Imagine that hype with a ton of people also hype about it, all in the same. Dude, it's such a great feeling. And it's not just for character announcements, just watching people play. Like we've just sat here and watched grand finals of other events like Arc, Revo and stuff like that, Capcom Cup, and watching it live is such an experience. And I gotta say, it has to be like similar to like going to watch like a live sporting event. In certain cases, like it's a very similar feel, but like it's a little bit different because like there's like a connection because you actually play the same game as the person that's up there. It's like obviously like I'm a bit of a fan of like hockey, you know what I mean, but you're not going to see me on the ice, you know. In fighting, like I may not like be the best Tekken player, but I play Tekken and I know the people up there are playing Tekken too, so it's like a really hype weird comparison, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, just whenever you're into something competitively, like whether it's sort of a casual interest or like I want to be the best in the world, it's one of those things that it's always so much fun to see top level whatever game you're playing, like the best of the best truly duking it out. And also just like you said before, the crowd going absolutely nuts. Listen, you get trailers at home, you can sit down at your TV or your computer and you can turn on the screen and you see Brian Fury Tekken 8 trailer and you're like, Brian's in the game, that's awesome. You don't get spoiled, okay? Well, unless if some intern leaks via tweet. But you don't get spoiled. You go, okay, yeah, new character, here we go. And everyone in the room is like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And then it pops up on the screen and everyone's screaming, right? Let's talk about that Tekken 8 trailer. Brian Fury.
It was hype. I was actually recording it while I went live, so you could hear me scream while it happened.
Yeah.
Watching it on a big screen is also another just bigger experience because like it's like watching a movie. Like we obviously knew who it was. I saw the rumors. I purposely ignored it, right? Like I purposely ignored watching it because I wanted to like see it live. But seeing that crowd jump up when he was doing the moves live, because there's people that like they already watched it, but they're like getting the announcement like privately, you know what I mean? It's not that it's a private event, but everyone's together watching it, and it's like it's such a I don't know what the right word
feels like a celebration almost.
Yeah, right? Like it's like something like you I don't want to say you have to be there, but you kind of have to.
I'll say it. You have to be there. Like just straight up, like, you had to be there. Okay.
There's an energy that like you can't replicate unless you're together. It's really interesting.
Not to mention Harada stirring the pot a little bit before the Brian trailer. He holds out a Brian T-shirt, and he's like, anyone, whoever is the absolute hypest in this crowd of like 2,000 people, gets this T-shirt signed by me. And it's got like, you know, Brian Fury on the back and, you know, Tekken 3. And it just looks so sick.
Do you think that was a request from Tekken to have that as a shirt beforehand? Do you think they knew that was going to happen?
Most likely. I mean, they most like they were probably planning on revealing Brian at Combo Breaker, right? And also just as a side note to mention that Tekken 8 was actually playable at Combo Breaker. Unfortunately, Phil and I couldn't get our hands on it because we just got hit with the matchup, the knowledge check. We just didn't know.
Yeah, dude. Apparently, you just like, you just gotta walk in. That was what you needed to do.
Yep.
Oh, I literally was almost broke down in tears when I found out you could play June. And I was like,
yep. Yeah. Same thing with King. I was like, oh, I could have played King in Tekken 8.
I was devastated.
But yeah.
But the trailer was absolutely hype. They also gave us a combo video, which was really sick. Like, honestly, most of the combos we kind of already saw. There wasn't anything really new that we saw, but like, Tekken is a very hype game. Like, I think it's because of like it's a very like whiff punish type of game where if you make a mistake, you could lose the game to it.
It's arguably really easy to decipher what's on the screen too, right? There's not a lot of like fireballs being thrown. It's a lot of just like martial arts, and like you can kind of just tell like, oh snap, this guy's winning the match. There's not a lot of confusion for like new people. I think it's personally one of the best spectator fighting games of all time. Easily.
Oh, easy, 100%. Like I get so hyped watching Tekken. Like also it's one of the games where like watching Tekken, it makes me want to play Tekken. There's a ton of other fighting games I'll watch, but I don't want to play. You know what I mean? I'm not as hyped. Like, I'll watch the grand finals. Like, when Strive happens, like, I'll watch it. I don't really want to. I'm more watching the Strive to see if there's an announcement at the end than I do want to play.
Fair enough.
But with Tekken, like, I know the players, like Arslan Ass versus Knee, like they were the top two this year at Combo Breaker. It was just a hype match, and also both the characters are like super like cool characters. I think it's Fang and Kunimitsu are just so cool. Like, they're just awesome characters. Like, they're very unique to what style they are, and like it's kind of addicting because as you know, as a fighting game fan, like I don't really play either of those characters, but I like that they're cool, and you start weirdly rooting for the character more than the player. It's so I don't know how to describe it. Like,
well, there's something there for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like, for me in particular, I was like, I want Knee to win, because I was like, Knee's my goat. Like, dude is just straight up been playing Tekken for ages. Love to see him play, regardless of the character. So I'm just like, let's go Knee. Let's also talk about the fact that it's an international competition. You got someone from Pakistan, someone from Korea duking it out. That's not something you see every day, okay? Like, you can watch it on stream and it feels good, right? But this is like, when you are there, it definitely feels like you are part of like an experience that really truly only happens every once in a blue moon, right?
Yeah. Like, I actively don't want to miss Tekken ever, because I almost always feel something hype's gonna happen. Like, I'm not saying anything against Street Fighter 5, because that was the last major for Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a big deal. But I just didn't get as hype watching some of the matches in Street Fighter 5 as I do for Tekken. Yeah. And I think it might just be a little bit more of a nostalgia thing because I like Tekken more, but it's just hype. Like, I highly recommend, if you can't compete, go get a spectator pass, because it's worth every penny.
Yeah, it's better to at least just be there. You could buy some stuff and then also just watch the top 8s. I feel like that would also be a fantastic experience to do, regardless of whether you compete or not, right?
Yeah.
So I agree. Get a spectator pass if you can't, either afford or just want to compete. And as a matter of fact, I met some people there, just through casual conversations. While, when you wait online, you start to form a bit of like a friendship with the people around you. Whether you're waiting for a mug or some popcorn, it's like, what are you here for? What do you play? So, like, what are you hyped for? And stuff like that. And there's some people I've talked to that have been like, yeah, no, I'm here just to watch. Like, happy to be here. Don't want to compete. Sometimes it's nerves. Sometimes it's just, hey, man, I'm old. Like, stuff like that.
I hope to get to a point where I'm not competing at all anymore. I'm just going there for other reasons. So that's, like, honestly a goal of mine for Combo Breaker.
For sure.
I will say it was interesting seeing Knee and Arslan Ass in top 8 and Tekken. Those were the only ones I really recognized out of all of the players.
Right.
All of the names I'm used to weren't there, like Super Akuma, Cuddlecore. I did see Sonic Fox. They got super far into the bracket this year. I think they got 25th.
Yeah, at least top 64. Like, they were up there, and that bracket's big too. So,
I think it's number 2, right? It's
around
Strive,
there. Yeah.
Tekken, I think, is the next one. Yeah, but like other names I just didn't see this year. So like, apparently Ash and Knee are ready for Tekken 8, which we still have no idea when that's coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Super hyped about that. And I mean, some of the other brackets as well were super cool to see. Like we touched on before, Tekken's a great spectator game. Same thing with Marvel, baby. Listen, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of the best spectating games as well, okay? And when you were seeing Magneto do loops in the corner and Doctor Doom grabbing you on his chair, like, boom, that is so hype. And, the Marvel community is notorious for just being one of the hypest crowds in the FGC, so it's only natural that you get that vibe there as well. Street Fighter was cool to see. It was an important bracket because it was the final send-off. A little upset my boy Idom did not win. Rooting for my New York players whenever I can.
Yeah, was that Just the Kid's first major or first win at a major?
No.
It was not.
No.
Okay.
No. Just a Kid is fantastic player. Evo top 8 last year as well, right? So I'm pretty sure Just a Kid has won a major title before. You know, it's escaping me at the moment. But regardless of whether he did or he did not, they're up there in skill, and obviously they proved it, winning with Jury.
I'm sure they're really excited with the new game that's coming out.
1000%.
That is out. Overall, is there any other big tournaments? You know, I actually did get hyped for. Nothing. You said Marvel, and it spiked my interest. I had some friends that were playing in Dragon Ball Fighters, so I actually got kind of hyped to watch it. I think I mentioned it, Dupree, or Black Vegeta is his name. Like, I started watching him. He got top 16. That's awesome. Something I'm never gonna do in any tournament. You know what I mean? It's excited to see one of your friends succeed. That is something else that's really cool. Like, if you have friends that are going there to compete, it's really fun to just be the support group of somebody. Like, because if they win, you in a weird way win as well, which it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I 1000% agree. Like, whether it's a pools, top 16, it feels good to show up for your friends, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a good time. Last thing I want to mention about Combo Breaker overall is, and this is one of the most important things I forgot to mention at the beginning, is that the venue is 24/7.
Yeah.
That means there are people playing games constantly in this venue, to the point where I hopped on a Rev 2 setup at 9 a.m. and there was I believe a Sin player, or that was like, "What's good? You want to play some matches?" "For sure. Yeah, how's it going?" Striking up some casual conversation. "Yeah, I've been up since like 5 a.m. I haven't slept." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Cool."
There's a reason. There's a bunch of Red Bull vendors around.
Yes. Yes, there's Red Bull everywhere for that reason.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a good vibe. Phil, if you had to rate it on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being you absolutely have to go, drop everything that you're doing, and a 1 being stay away as far as you can, what would you rate it?
I actually have 2 scores, and I'm gonna go by 2, like, from a general score for going as a spectator this year for me, and going as Phil, of course, is 2 different scores.
Okay.
The first score this year is for me as Phil, of course. I'm giving it a 5. I was able to do huge things this year that really helped my career. So that's a big thing to me. A 5. The other one, I'm gonna have to give it a 4. And that's the only reason I say that is because I was so busy.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, that's fair.
There's a couple times where I just kind of felt like I was being pulled in different directions for other reasons all weekend. And there's you even notice there's times I didn't get to go to have lunch with you, or we only got to sit down and play so many games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was able to steal you and get you to play Grand Blue for the first time though. So
yeah.
That's. Which if you don't buy it, I'm gonna buy it for you. So
I gotta admit, it was a fun time. Okay, listen,
yeah.
I used to be a Grand Blue hater. I've been shown the light. Okay, I understand why people like this game.
Only game
now.
I competed in this year, so it was. I love that game.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm happy to hear it. 4s and 5s, that's solid. Yeah. I agree. I mean, for me, just as Lumi, no extra scores or anything like that.
Yeah.
5, easily.
Yep.
5. And I gotta say, a lot of that score is related to the venue being 24 hours, because there was one huge regret I had in my Combo Breaker 2022 last year, is that I didn't really play fighting games. I showed up, played my bracket matches, and then I was a spectator the whole time. This year, I made it a point to just go up to as many random people as possible in certain games that I was interested in, and just being like, "Hey, I'm new. Can you beat my ass real quick?" And the amount of knowledge and the amount of helpful people that have been like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'll beat your ass," and showing me stuff and all the new tech that I learned. Legitimately, I have not met a terrible person when just rolling up to a friendly setup and being like, "Hey, can we run some matches?" And I had an absolute blast for hours on end. And I think that was one of, if not the highlight for me for Combo Breaker 2023.